Welcome to TV20 Classic Sports. I'm your host, Christian Patterson. From all-star matchups to championship games, we've reached into the vault to bring back a part of Cleveland history. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of TV20 Classic Sports.
And welcome to Gordon Park for this afternoon's 1995 Mickey Mantle City Championship game between Stella Walsh Recreation Center and Clark Recreation Center. Good afternoon, I'm Adam Mendoza along with my partner Tim Wells, and we're coming into the culmination of the baseball season in the city of Cleveland and Mickey Mantle baseball. It's been quite some time since I've been on the ball fields here in Cleveland, and Mickey Mantle baseball has changed.
It has changed for the betterment of a lot of kids, Adam. First of all, it used to be when we played back then, anybody came in the league. Now the Cleveland Indians and the Cleveland Baseball Federation have stepped forward, and they have said, listen, we're going to commit to Cleveland youngsters. So that we now have a 10-team league that involves all Cleveland youngsters, mandatory play, everybody plays, social skill workshops, and what has happened is there's been growth year after year, and there's more growth coming in the future.
And you talk about baseball, there's a lot of growth in baseball. Talking about this game, season long, both teams really playing well. Stella Walsh and Clark Recreation, we come into this game. Stella Walsh, the defending champions, looking for number 2, but here comes Clark Recreation looking for their second championship in 4 years. What are the keys for this ball game?
Well, first of all, I look at both teams. First, looking at Stella Walsh, who will be in orange today. They're coached by Mike Penner. And one of the things Mike told us is their catcher's got to be able to block the ball. They're going to have to play good defense, and he's got to get good pitching out of Jared Copen. Jared Copen, their pitcher, and we're going to hear this from Mike, he has to be around the plate. They're going to have to catch the ball and make the plays behind him. If they start playing sloppy defense, they could be in big trouble. On the other hand, when you look at Clark Recreation, a much more explosive team. They hit the baseball. Coach Santiago said, look, all we got to do is not give this thing away. Let's play good defense. Let's not give up a lot of walks and go out and hit the ball. That's our style. So when I asked both coaches, I said, honestly, what favors you? Clark Recreation's high-scoring game is going to favor our team. Stella Walsh low scoring. So if we see in the ball game, that could play a big role.
And the last times that these two teams have met, Clark Recreation has been on the victory side. They've got 2 straight wins over Stella Walsh, and they're trying to look for 3. And, trying to get that 3rd win in a season against an opponent sometimes is very difficult.
Yeah, when you look at the two teams and they match up, this is the 3rd time. Some key players to watch is going to be the pitchers. Victor Calanders from Clark Recreation, hard thrower, nice curveball. Has a tendency to lose poise. If he keeps his poise and keeps control, Clark has an excellent chance to win. On the other hand, Jared Copen hasn't faced Clark all year. So this is going to be a challenge. I think what Mike Penner has come to realize is that Clark's a good fastball hitting team. I'm going to try to throw some curveballs off speed and see if we can play defense to have a chance to win.
Well, we've got a great matchup coming up as Clark Rec and Stella Walsh battle it out for the 1995 Mickey Mantle Championship here at Gordon Park. When we come back, we'll have more of the pregame festivities from Gordon Park. You're watching the Mickey Mantle Championships right here on TV 35.
When Raymond was 6, I was afraid to take him to the playground because they were doing drugs. When he was 10, I couldn't let him play ball in the schoolyard because of the gangs. When he was 15, I wouldn't let him go to any dances because there could be a fight or a shooting. Now he's a man, and I realize he's never been a kid.
Give your children back their childhood. Do something now. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Together, we will take a bite out of crime.
Recreation team against the Clark Recreation Center team. The visiting team, Stella Walsh. First of all, today's honorary captain for Stella Walsh, we have Councilman Edward J. Ripka. The head coach for the Stella Walsh team, Mr. Mike Penner. The assistant coach, Mr. Bill Rowider. And now the team. An outfielder, number 8, Mr. Eric Porzinski. And now today's starting lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 9, George Abraham. Batting in the 2 slot, playing left field, number 18, Rick Arnold. Batting number 3, the first baseman, number 3, Joe Radzalowski. Hitting in the cleanup slot and playing right field, number 5, Jacob Bauman. Batting 5th, and playing third base, number 10, Mike Jaskolka. Batting 6th, the catcher, number 17, Mike Bauman. Batting 7th, the pitcher, number 16, Jared Copeland. Next we have the designated hitter, number 19, Mike Royer. And playing center field on defense, number 7, Joe Rosnick. And the number 9 hitter, playing second base, number 13, Wayne Stella. Now, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the third base side of the field for the introduction of the Clark Warriors. The honorary captain for today's Clark team is Councilman Raymond L. Pianca. Head coach, Mr. Edwin Santiago. Assistant coach, Mr. Dave Ramos. And now the Clark team. First baseman, number 17, Ben Ramos. Third baseman, number 8, Omar Feliciano. Right fielder, number 5, Dennis Moriet. Second baseman, number 14, Julio Quinones. And now the starting lineup. Batting leadoff and pitching, number 12, Victor Palonde. In the 2 slot, the shortstop, number 11, Angel Aponte. Batting number 3 and playing first base, number 24, Tito Torres. Hitting cleanup, the center fielder, number 7, Ben Gray. Batting number 5 at third base, number 20, Noel Nieves. Number 6 and catching, number 23, Jeremy Queen. Batting 7th and playing second base, number 10, Santo Ortiz. Batting 8th in left field, number 3, Edwin Martinez. And the right fielder, batting 9th, number 22, Josh Gibbons. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Cleveland Police Color Guard. And now going to the center of the field to sing our national anthem, Mr. Rocco Scotty.
broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we lost were so gallantly streaming. On the north the bombs bursting in air gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Rocco Scotty does us the honors, Adams, here at the Cleveland Mickey Mantle City Championships. Again, we've talked about the two teams that we're going to see here tonight. And in a moment, we'll be going to the ceremonial first pitch. Again, Adam, it's been a great, it looks like you're going to have a great day.
That's right, and the Honorable Mayor White will be throwing out the first pitch in this Mickey Mantle Championship game between Clark Recreation and Stella Walsh Recreation. A beautiful day for baseball, as Joe Tate would say here at Gordon Park. Just an overcast day, but overall, sun shining. It's going to be a great day for baseball here at Gordon Park between these two teams, as Mayor White is getting set to out on the field to give us the first pitch of this ball game. And you heard and saw the introductions of both teams in this game. And as we look into this contest,
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like
as we head to the field for our ceremonial first pitch by the Honorable Mayor White.
Michael White will throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Escorting his honor to the mound will be the Director of Parks, Properties, and Recreation, Mr. Oliver Spellman.
Again, we're looking at Oliver Spellman. He's the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Properties. Commissioner Irvin White. We have a nice crowd, as we can see here at Gordon Park. And the President of the Cleveland Baseball Federation. We're going to hear from them later. They're the funder of the Cleveland Baseball Program. Their President, Ralph Vera.
And Mayor White, a big baseball fan, especially when you have the Red Hot Tribe doing as well as they are this season. Let's just see what kind of form the mayor has.
Again, we can see it's a great toss by the mayor. And very shortly, we're going to be starting the Mickey Mantle Championships. Let's take a look at them at this time at the starting lineup from Stella Walsh.
For Stella Walsh, you look at when they start hitting, George Abraham, the shortstop. Second batter will be Rick Arnold, the left fielder. Joe Radzolowski will be batting third and playing first base. The cleanup hitter for Walsh will be Jacob Bauman, who's playing right field. The fifth batter will be Mike Jaskolka, the third baseman. Mike Bauman will be the catcher. Jared Copen, the pitcher for Stella Walsh, and that's a player we're going to be very interested in watching. And then Mike Vorreiter, the DH, and Wayne Stella will be playing second base for Walsh. Joe Rusnick will be playing center field, but he will not be batting. He will have the DH for him in this contest.
Again, Mayor White must be feeling awful good. He spoke a few words to our audience. He has truly been the man that's led the resurgence in Cleveland. Our hats have to go off to him and his administration.
A lot has happened in the city of Cleveland over the past number of years. And as we get a look at the umpires for this afternoon's ball game, at first base, we'll have Gary Helschel. Behind home plate calling the balls and strike will be Chester Murphy, a 22-year umpire. And then down the third base line and calling the left side will be Ron Habani, an 18-year umpire.
So on the left is Chester Murphy, your home plate umpire. In the middle is Gary Heschel. And on the right at third base will be Ron Hubany. Again, they are all members of the Cleveland Umpires Association. Well, we've talked about the offense. Let's take a look at Clark Recreation's defense. As we look up on the screen, you're going to see playing third base, it's being Noel Nueves. At shortstop, it'll be Angel Aponte. And at second base, Santo Ortiz. He's back for another appearance, but again, it'll be not for Stella Walsh, but for Clark Rec. Playing first base is one of the key players we talked about earlier in the game at the Keys, Tito Torres. In the outfield from left to right, in left field, Edwin Martinez. In center field, Benjamin Twing. Right field, Josh Givens. Behind the plate, catching will be Jeremy Thwing. And the guy that'll be tossing him, he's tough to beat when he's on, is Victor Calandis.
Well, you look at how both teams are coming into this contest. For Clark Recreation, they're hitting .422 as a team, and they've done well against Stella Walsh, hitting .437. For Stella Walsh, .368 team average. But they've had their troubles against Clark Recreation, only hitting .146. And Clark, in the last two times these two teams have met, Clark has beaten Stella Walsh in the two previous meetings.
Well, you know, when you see a team and you meet them, the first thing that goes through your mind is you beat them twice. When you beat them three times, then you got to say, well, they're a better baseball team. Mike Penner has done a lot of homework for this game. He's coming in with a new pitcher, Jared Copen. So that's one change that he's done. He's also took a real long, hard week of practice. His team comes in here healthy, and I think if they got any chance to win, the first key is, they, like he said in the beginning, they're going to have to put the bat on the ball, put it in play, and make Clark field the baseball.
And if you haven't been down to Gordon Park in recent years, you've missed probably one of the nicer facilities in the city of Cleveland. I remember playing on the sandlots in Mickey Mantle, Connie Mack, how different Gordon Park was, and now it's just one of the best facilities in the city of Cleveland for the Recreation League.
Again, for our viewers, we didn't mention it in pregame, but maybe now that we're waiting for the umpires they meet, the pitchers are warming up, the winner of today will represent Cleveland in the state championship next week on the 27th of July. They're going to be playing in Youngstown, Ohio against Akron's representative. So again, both these teams are playing for much more than the city championship, but the right to go on to the state tournament.
And I know, growing up myself playing in Mickey Mantle, that's one of the things you always wanted to do. You wanted to make that one extra trip down to Youngstown to represent the area playing Mickey Mantle baseball. And we've talked about it before. Mickey Mantle, since I played, has changed a little bit in the city of Cleveland.
Well, it looks like our umpires are moving in position. Pitcher is warmed up. Again, it's a beautiful day, 80 degrees. Exciting week here in Cleveland. We have the big race down on Burke Airport.
You'll probably be able to hear that a little bit as the game progresses. There you see on the mound for Clark Recreation, Santo Ortiz, the right-hander. And behind the plate is Jeremy Thwing. For Ortiz.
Well, you know what, Adam, while we have a break here, why don't we go to Desiree? She talked to Edwin Santiago, and he gave us his views on Victor Calandis, the pitcher we see warming up.
With us today, we have the head coach for the Clark Warriors Recreation Center, Mr. Edwin Santiago. Congratulations for making it to the championship round.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Last year, I understand it was the first year for Mickey Mantle within the Cleveland Recreation Department. How did your team do last year compared to where they are this year?
Last year we had a pretty good team. Better to be here this year than where we were last year. We kind of lost in the first round of the playoffs, put us out. But we're back this year. Hopefully we can take a championship home back to Clark Rec.
Okay, now when you were in the semifinals and you played against Gunning, my home team, your team was very impressive. And you have a pitcher by the name of Victor
Calandis, yeah.
Victor Calandis. From what I hear, rumor has it that he may have a slight injury to his pitching hand. Is your bullpen ready? Bullpen?
The bullpen is ready, and Victor is also ready. He had an injury early in the week. We worked him out, made him throw a couple days, and he says he feels fine, and he's ready to get the job done for us today.
Okay, well, we want to congratulate you for making it to the championships. We want to wish you good luck. You know you have strong competition, considering that the team coming back is the previous winner from last year, but we do want to wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Desiree. Glad to hear what Edwin had to say about Victor, a hard thrower. A lot of confidence in his pitcher. And we're looking at two outstanding teams here today.
And you look at some of the schools that these kids represent, varied in the city of Cleveland. Central Catholic, South Trinity, Lincoln West, John Hay, John Adams, the late John Adams High School. Unfortunately, that one closed down.
A lot of the kids that we see here today are members of the Cleveland Public Schools, and that's because of the change that we made. I mentioned in the pregame that these are all Cleveland kids. City of Cleveland residents are now playing in this league.
Oh, stepping up to the plate first for Stella Walsh is the shortstop, George Abraham, the right-hander. First pitch is high and inside for a ball. Abraham, a 5'8", 150-pound 15-year-old, hitting .561 on the season. Takes the second one high and swings and misses. So the count now on Abraham is at 1-1. Calandres looks. That one's just missing on the outside for a ball.
And that's going to be a big play here now. A lot of our viewers just saw a ball get by the catcher. The kids all year have played basically on the skin diamonds. They played here last Friday night the first time, but the ball getting by the catcher could play a role.
That one's popped up first base side. Tito Torres is underneath, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Well, a good start for Victor Calandres. He handcuffed him on an inside pitch. Got a little pop-up for the first out of today's ball game.
And that's really key, Tim. When you look at the pitching, if you can jam your hitter inside and get him to pop up to the infield, that can make the job a heck of a lot easier. Rick Arnold is up to the plate for Stella Walsh. First pitch is outside for a ball. Arnold hitting .439. Against Clark, he's hitting .500, and he takes that second one for ball two. So quickly, the hitter has the advantage. Calandres' pitch right down the pipe for a strike. Haven't seen much of the breaking stuff from Calandres. Seen a lot of fastballs so far. That one's a grounder to the first baseman. Torres picks it up himself, and he makes it 2 outs for the inning, and it's Torres making both outs for Clark Recreation.
Again, when you look at Tito Torres, the first baseman from Clark, kind of makes it look easy. A lot of the kids here at Clark Recreation, as well as Stella Walsh, have a lot of experience playing. They're in the Stella Walsh program. They probably played in the Morgana Little League, which is a community organization very active in Slavic Village. And Clark Recreation has been able to establish a solid program in their center.
Well, the first baseman and third batter, Joe Radzlowski, is up to the plate. Takes that one for a strike. Radzlowski will be playing first base, 5'9", 150 pounds, hitting .629 on the season against Clark Rec, sitting .400. Probably one of the smartest and best baseball players on that team. Ground ball to the shortstop. Great pickup by Aponte.
You know, we look about championship games and great plays. Right there, we saw Angel Aponte tell your players, hey, this is the time we don't leave anything in the locker. We come up and we makes a big play, a line drive that he picks off the dirt. Again, it was a good play for the first time of the ball game. And we're in the middle of the first inning. There's no score. So let's take a look at Clark Recreation's starting lineup, Adam.
For Clark, Victor Calandres will be the pitcher, and he'll be hitting first. Angel Aponte, the shortstop, will be hitting second. First baseman and hitting third is Tito Torres. Ben Thwing will back cleanup. He's the center fielder. Noel Nieves is the third baseman and batting fifth. Hitting sixth will be Jeremy Thwing, the catcher. Hitting seventh is Santo Ortiz. Hitting eighth is Edwin Martinez, the left fielder, and Josh Givens, the right fielder, hitting ninth.
Yeah, we look now at the Stella Walsh. We talked about their hitting earlier in the first inning. We'll take a look at the chart on defense. At third base, it's Mike Jaskolka. The shortstop, George Abrams. See there, he's got a nice arm and form. Playing second base, Wayne Stella. Joe Radzalewski is playing first base. Look at the outfield from left to right. It's Rick Arnold, Joe Resnick in the middle, Jacob Bauman in right field. And his brother is behind the plate, the big guy. Mike Bauman is the catcher. And the guy that's got it on the line today is Jared Copen, right-handed pitcher from Stella Walsh. He'll take on the challenge of trying to shut down the Clark Recreation hitting today.
And up to the plate first for Clark Rec will be the pitcher, Victor Colondres. And when you look at Jared Copen, the pitcher, 5'11", 175 pounds. And he will be your big key in this ball game. Up to the plate first, both is Colondres, the pitcher. And Colondres hitting .571 on the season. The 5'5", 130-pounder, 11th grader over at Lincoln West. Colondres, a right-hander, slightly closed stance. The delivery, that one's fouled away down the first base side. Outfield and center field pretty much playing Colondres to look like he'll hit it just a tad bit late and swinging a little bit late. They're playing a little bit toward the right side. Second pitch is low and away for a ball by Jared Copen. 1-1 to count, bottom of the first. No score here. Looks with the breaking ball inside, 2-1.
Again, I'm sure Mike Penner has seen this team twice. He knows they're good fastball hitters, so he's going to rely a little bit on off-speed and breaking balls.
That one's hit into the gap in the right center field. They're on a run. No, it gets past the right fielder. Colondres is going to go to second easily with a stand-up double. A nice shot there by Colondres, hitting it into the gap in right center field.
Well, you can see that's one of the things the coach hopes for. Get that leadoff guy on. They got him in scoring position. Nice hit going the other way.
Now stepping to the plate, number 2, the shortstop, number 11, Angel Aponte.
And now the shortstop will be up for Clark Rec, Angel Aponte. Copen from the stretch with the man at second. The pitch, that one's just missing inside. Want to know the count. Clark Rec getting the first hit of the ball game with a double by Victor Colondres in the right center field. That one's high, and Copen just a little bit all over the place, Tim. He's either hitting high or just inside and high.
Well, Angel Aponte has been noted during the year to hit the ball up the middle. You'll notice he's in a slightly open stance, but he keeps his front shoulder in, so we have to look for the middle of the field.
Copen looks back to second, throws that one inside, tried the breaking ball. Now, Aponte, 3-0. Do you give him the green light?
Well, I think here, Adam, first inning, you want to make sure this guy throws strikes. You got the harder the order up I'm going to take on this pitch.
That one's inside for a strike. As Aponte looking to bunt, trying to get the defense to move a little bit, get him out of position. 3 balls, 1 strike on Aponte. That one's bounced and chopped foul down the first base side, out of play. And the count now is full at 3-2. Jared Copen fighting back to get to the full count, where Copen really lost a little bit at the beginning of the batter, quickly getting out to a 3-0 count. Man on second, no score. Clark Rec up to the plate. Here comes the full count pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, gets him on a high fastball just outside. So Aponte goes down swinging, and up to the plate is Tito Torres. Torres, the first baseman, will try to get in and try to bring in Colondres, who's over at second base. Torres, the left-hander, hitting .625 on the season, That one's low and in the dirt for a ball. So Copen having a little bit of a problem and a rough go at it in this first inning of play. Just trying to get the location in there. A wind and a pitch. This one is a pop fly and behind us. Out of play.
Again, Tito Torres, Adam, is one of those guys that's going to go up there and he's going to look to drive the baseball. He can hit to all fields. You'll see they're kind of playing him to pull in the outfield. Center field a little bit to the right side.
That one's on the outside part of the plate. Count goes to 2-1. Third baseman playing on the edge of the grass. Really, both corners are playing the edge of the grass. 2-1 pitch. That one gets away. Runner goes to third. And Calandres is easily over at third on the wild pitch. So now this is an opportunity for Tito Torres to get an RBI in there with just one out, and the count is 3-1.
Okay, we talked about the wild pitches and pass balls playing a role. We'll see right here if this is going to be a difference.
Copen's delivery. That one's popped up behind us once again. Brings the count to 3-2. Now just the third batter in this inning, and Copen has already thrown 16 pitches. Early on, you don't want to throw that many pitches. Copen from the windup. That one's fouled away, so Tito Torres battling it out, staying alive. 3 straight foul balls. 3-2. Here's the windup from Copen. That one is fouled away to the right side and goes out of play. Torres right now really getting his swings at the plate, Tim.
Well, Tito Torres is the type of guy that you always look for the hitter that says, give me the bat with guys on base. I want to be the hitter. And that's the kind of competitor he is. He's involved in a lot of sports over at Clark Recreation. And that's one of the reasons that he's been in several championship games, whether it's been basketball or flag football. But also on the baseball scene, he's won some games at the lower levels for city titles.
Copen, the 3-2 delivery, fouled away once again. Torres is just hanging tough in there. If you just joined us, no score here, bottom of the first inning. Clark Rec getting a double from Victor Calandres. He moved over to third from the wild pitch, and Tito Torres, the last 4 pitches, he has fouled off and has battled Jared Copen. Copen gets the sign from Bauman, the delivery, the pitch on the outside part of the plate, the breaking ball just missing.
Test, let me try the other. Test.
So Torres is on first with the walk. So we've got first and third, and up to the plate for Clark Rec is the cleanup hitter, Ben Thwing.
Test, no, I'm in.
And for Thwing, he's hitting .615 on the season, and he's had some good luck against Walsh, hitting .857. He's 6 of 7 against Walsh in the 2 previous meetings, in which Clark Rec won 4-2 and 13-1. The right-hander.
Line drive hitter here, Adam. He'll hit gaps.
Runner goes to first. They throw over to the shortstop, hoping to catch the runner at third, Calandres. So they basically give up to steal the second, and now we have a second and third situation. So they concede the runner going to second. There you saw the stat for Thwing, hitting .615. One of his favorite hitters, and a lot of favorite hitters of baseball fans this year, Manny Ramirez. That one's a nice fastball inside for a strike. Swinging. And Thwing talking to himself, trying to get that concentration in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside part of the plate just missing, and Copen looks like he's getting a little bit more relaxed, but he's still just hitting all over the place.
Yeah, that time he tried to put a little bit extra on his curveball, You saw his arm motion actually go across his body. You really want more downward action.
Fly ball center field. Rusnick's got a beat on it. No, it's over his head. That'll score Calandras. And Tito Torres should score easily from second. And Thwing stands at second base. 2 RBIs for Thwing.
Well, we talked about Benjamin Thwing hitting line drives and being a solid hitter, hitting over 600. We'll take a look at it. You can see it was a nice try by the center fielder from Stella Walsh, but it gets by him. Both runners are going to score, and you can see here he lost a little bit of time by not using the hand and glove together. But give him credit, he hits the cutoff and prevents Thwing from making a triple on the ball hit deep to center field.
Noel Nieves, the third baseman, is up 2-0. Clark Reck quickly gets on the board in this bottom of the first inning here at Gordon Park. That one's fouled away to the right side. Noel Nieves.
Now Noel's a pull hitter, Adam. He likes to hit the ball between short and third. You're going to see Stella Walsh try to stay away from him. But his field is left field. Big, strong hitter. They're going to try to pitch him away and make him go the other way. You can see he's had a pretty good year at the plate.
769. That one's a bouncer towards the third baseman, picked up by Jaskolka. Goes over to first, doesn't get him in time. The runner moves over to third. So once again, we got runners on the corner. They're going to call it E5. An error on Mike Jaskolka. Thwing goes over to third on the error. And so once again, we've got first and third, and Jeremy Thwing, the catcher, slightly open stance. And that one's in for a strike.
Well, one of the things that Mike Penner was concerned about when he talked to us before the game was he wanted to keep the game close early to give his team a chance. He felt that Clark had a good hitting team, so they had to play good defense. And we've seen 2 misplayed balls here early in the ball game.
Runner goes, no throw. So Nieves is at second base.
Okay.
Once again, second and third situation, Tim.
Same situation. This time it's brother Jeremy at the plate. Big, strong hitter. Likes to hit the ball. You'll see he'll try to drive the ball to the opposite field on occasions, too. So you'll see the right fielders playing up and looking for it in front of them.
Hitting .483 with 9 RBIs. The catcher Thwing, his favorite catcher, Mike Piazza, the LA Dodgers. Jared Copen in this bottom of the first inning as he gets him on the strikeout looking. Copen has thrown 30, he's thrown 30 pitches in the first inning. That's a lot for your first inning.
Well, here's one of those special stories about this young man coming up, Santo Ortiz. Last year he played for Stella Walsh. He moved to the west side, and this year he's playing for Clark Recreation.
Second and third, runners there. Ortiz taking the first pitch for a ball. Ortiz hitting .500 on the season with 17 RBIs, so he is able to really drive in some runs in his at-bats. The pitch from Copen, breaking ball, just missing on the inside part of the plate. The count goes quickly to 2-0. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Clark Reck leads it over Stella Walsh 2-0. Runners on second and third. The pitch from Copen. Line, base hit down the line. They're going to call it fair. That'll bring in 1. Here comes Nieves the other way. Throw to second base, not in time, so the base hit down the line, scores 2 for Santo Ortiz.
Well, there's one big man with a big smile. Came through, big hit here, drove in 2 runs. Again, Chester Murphy was right on top of home plate to make the call. And a double down the right field line.
Seeing eye double down the line. And up at the plate, the 8th batter in the inning is Edwin Martinez. They go and try for the man at second. And Ortiz is going to take off to third, and he's in safely.
You know, Adam, one of the things that you look at championship teams, and I think the Cleveland Indians are a good sample of it. You hear about Manny Ramirez and their power. The situation is, you look at guys hitting the ball to the opposite field. When you see players are going with the pitch away, you know you got a good chance to win a lot of games.
Oh, most definitely. You don't always want to pull the ball. You just hit. You hit behind a runner. Just go with the pitches.
1, 2. Test, 1, 2.
Edwin Martinez, the left fielder.
Test.
The pitch. That one's low and away for a ball. Jared Copen having his problems early on in this first inning, giving up 4 runs. And Clark Rec has really come up and done a lot when they've had second and third. High swing and a miss for a strike. 1-1 to count on Edwin Martinez, who is hitting 154 on the season. Another one for a strike.
Check.
So the count, 1-2.
Check.
Copen trying to get out of this inning. Copen's delivery. Oh, and that hits Martinez. And that'll be a free pass for Martinez. Let's take another look at that one as Copen came inside and hit Martinez in the head.
Again, you can see he's getting set here. And Jared Copen's been pitching inside all day. We'll look here at the replay. Little duck me, get me out of the way, put your hands up. Again, a lot of times the umpires will examine the player. The first base umped in and decided it's okay for him to go on.
And that's why you see in the Mickey Mantle, Connie Mack, the double ear flaps, because that one took it right on the double ear, right on the ear flap. Josh Gibbons, the right fielder, is up to the plate right now.
Joshua Gibbons is also a 9th grader at Enterprise Christian School. He's hitting 154. Again, one of the things is when the next pitch, the viewers, if you take a look at his feet in the box, you'll see that he'll step with his lead foot toward the bucket. A lot of times your coaches don't step out, and you'll see here his lead foot, see how it stepped out? His whole body is facing toward left field.
Well, Gibbons strikes out, and that will end the inning, but the damage is done by Clark Recreation. They get 4 runs on 3 hits with 1 error. And after 1 inning of play, Clark Rec leads it 4-0.
Hey, Adam, at this time, we're going to go over to Desiree. She's with the Honorable Mayor of the City of Cleveland, Michael R. White.
Today we have a special guest with us, Mayor Michael R. White. Thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you very much for interviewing me.
This must be a very special day for you. You have teenage baseball, City of Cleveland teenage baseball today. How do you feel about programs like this?
Well, it really is a special day. We've worked so hard over the last 5 years to build these programs, because there's nothing more important than getting young people involved in good, wholesome, positive activity. We all know there are so many other things going on today that the more we can involve these young people in our recreation centers and these kind of programs, the more they'll stay out of trouble, the more they will learn teamsmanship, and the more they will be role models for the little ones who are coming along. And whether we want to accept it or not, these young men are role models for the little ones. And if they're doing the good things, then the little ones are going to do the good things.
In addition to that, with recreation making great strides throughout the years, what do you envision recreation doing in the near future? Anything?
Well, we really have 2 primary goals. Number one, we want to keep growing our programs. I would like to be able to say that in 5 years or even 3 years, we have doubled the rates of participation in all of our categorical programs. But the other part of this is something that I'm very concerned about. I know you are as a center manager at Gunning and many others, and that's how or whether or not we can combine an educational component and a violence reduction component at the same time. There are no models for this anywhere in the country where the cities have gone beyond recreation and talked about how do we get our children engaged in mediation and nonviolent kinds of activities, and we're going to try that here in Cleveland.
Okay. Now, last but not least, you've told many people throughout your history as mayor that you envisioned yourself as a small child becoming mayor of the city of Cleveland. What words of advice would you give these children as well as the rest of the children in the recreation department in the city as a whole? How can they accomplish what they think is unattainable?
Well, you know, people look at me sometime like I'm some phenomena, but I'm really not. I was an average kid. I did my share of the things that I shouldn't have done. But what I would say to children would be the following. Number one, you can be anything you want to be if you want to be it bad enough and if you want to work hard enough. Secondly, you have to sacrifice in order to reach your goals, and I've sacrificed to reach mine. And thirdly, probably first, believe in God, because in God all things are possible. And you have to have the faith in yourself that you can achieve. And if you have that faith, you could do just about anything that you want to do. And just let me conclude by saying there are so many people in our broader community who think that the children of Cleveland cannot achieve, cannot attain, that they are somehow second-class citizens. That's not true. These are great kids. They need young and older adults to mentor them, to believe in them, and to love them. And the more we do that through recreation and through all the things we do, these kids are going to be just fine, and they're going to be the next group of leaders in the city of Cleveland in the year 2010.
I'm sure those kids out there are going to take your words of encouragement today, do the best they can. We want to wish both of them the best of luck, and thank you very much for your support and your dedication coming out today.
Well, thank you very much for the kind interview.
Okay, you have a good day.
You too.
Back to more Mickey Mantle Championship Baseball with Tim.
Top of the second inning here at Gordon Park. Clark Rec leads it 4-0. The 4, 5, and 6 batters are up for Walsh. Jacob Bauman is the right fielder. Bauman is hitting .290, and there is a strike by Victor Calandres.
We're looking at Jacob Bauman, 10th grader from Cleveland Central Catholic, with a big swing.
And he goes down swinging. Central Catholic, my alma mater from years gone by. And I remember years and years ago, Tim, that I had to face some of your ball clubs over at St. Boniface when I was over at Our Lady of Good Counsel, and in the summer.
That was when I had some good young talent, Adam.
Line shot up the middle for a base hit by Mike Jaskolka.
Again, you can see again, he hit the ball where it was pitched, down and in and up the middle for a base hit. Again, Mike is an 11th grader at Benedictine High School. And Stella Walsh picks up its first solid base hit up the middle.
Mike Bauman, the catcher, is up next for Stella Walsh. Jaskolka getting the first hit for Walsh. That one's inside, and they're going to call that one a strike.
We're looking at big Mike Bauman from Cleveland Central Catholic. He's been doing the catching today. You can see he's hitting .290.
The 0-1 count. Ground ball right back up the box, picked up by the shortstop. Great play, goes over to one, double play. Oh, what a play by Angel Aponte. Oh, what a fantastic play by Angel Aponte.
Well, we talk about championship play, good speed. Here it is. Angel Aponte steps on the base for one, comes and throws right over to first base for the double play. He's made 2 big plays already in the game. The first inning, it was the line drive. This time, it was the double play.
Now that takes the inning out for Stella Walsh Rec. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, Clark Rec leads it 4-0.
My house needs fixing, but my piggy bank is empty. What should I do?
Do what grown-ups do when they need to repair their homes. Call Cleveland Action to Support Housing and borrow up to $25,000 at 4.5% interest for a single-family home. Choose from a list of approved contractors. There are no waiting lists and no income restrictions. Call Cash at 621-7350.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee, all the way home.
Now, bottom of the second inning, Clark Rec went through the order in the first. Victor Calandres, the pitcher, is up. His first time up, he had a double and he scored. As the pitch from Copen is low and away from the outside. Calandres hitting .571 on the season. 1 for 1 on the afternoon today. Copen in that first inning, 39 pitches, I hope to do less. That one's a shot to left field. Left fielder is underneath it, and it's picked up by Rick Arnold.
Again, we've talked about the Clark Recreation team coming up here swinging the bats. You can see each one of their players are looking to put the ball in play, and they've been doing that all year. Adam, one of our special guests that's going to be with us for the next inning or so is the Director of Parks and Recreation, Director Spellman. Director, I'm glad to see you could have a moment to come by.
Oh, good to be here, Tim.
And as the Angel Aponte gets that one down the line, foul, just missing the line down the right field. Angel Aponte, his first time struck out.
Director, you have to be feeling pretty good when you see things like this happening.
Tim, this is the kind of occasion where one can feel pretty proud about our recreation division. We have some competitive teams out there, a good game, great championship, and you guys are doing a great job.
Round ball through the hole, and that's going to be in for a base hit as Angel Aponte just gets that seeing eye baseball. Sneaks it in between first and second for a hit.
No, Adam, you don't want to sound redundant, but when you look at the Clark team, you probably can count maybe 1 or 2 times they've actually taken the ball to left field. Everything's been right field, center field, going with the pitch. And you have to give them a lot of credit.
Oh, they've been going with the pitch, and up to the plate is Tito Torres, the third batter. That one's inside and behind him, and that'll send Aponte over to second base on the wild pitch.
Director, maybe the next time we get a moment, we've talked earlier about a volunteer program that's happening in the parks that you're looking to try to put together, and maybe in the first chance we get, we can talk a little bit about it to our viewers.
Sounds good.
Tito Torres up at the plate. Looks. That one gets away behind the catcher of Bauman, and that'll send Aponte over to third base. And another wild pitch for Jared Copen, who's struggling at the mound today.
You know, one of the most frustrating things for a catcher is when you got guys on base, the low ball pitch, you always ask that pitcher, hey, keep it up for me, give me a chance to throw the runner out. But Clark Recreation, not only with their hitting, we've seen early here in the first couple innings that the speed that they have on their team has been able to create some runs for them.
Torres, 3-0 count. That one is in there for a strike. Torres, his first time up, he walked but scored. Copen from the windup, the pitch, high and away. So Torres gets his second pass of the day. And up to the plate now is the center fielder, Ben Thwing.
Again, Benjamin Thwing is a 12th grader at Glenville High School. You can see the catcher and pitcher have met, and I'm sure first thing that Mike Bauman's telling him is, listen, give us a chance. Might want to put on a play right back to the pitch, see if we can catch Torres off third.
Thwing 2 RBIs in his last at bat. Somewhat of a similar situation where he had 2 runners on. Copen's delivery just missing, low and outside. Bottom of the second inning. Clark Rec leading it 4-0 and looking to add some more runs on the board. Pitch is swung on and missed. Runner goes in safely to second is Tito Torres. So now we have second and third. There you see our shot from the center field camera. Copen's delivery, round ball to the right side, picked up by Stella. Run will score, and Thwing gets the RBI.
Now, one of the things on that pitch that was thrown, you could see that Copen has decided that, hey, listen, they're hurting me by pitching outside. I'm going to try to keep it inside on their hands, and he jammed Thwing to pick up the ground ball in the out. So it was an excellent pitch that he threw.
Noel Nieves, the third baseman, is up to the plate for Clark Rec, takes a low and ball 1. Thwing so far in the afternoon, 3 RBIs. Nieves, the last time he was up, got on an error.
This is their pull hitter. Between short and third, you see he kind of dips that front shoulder open slightly. Likes to pull the ball down the left field line.
For Nieves, 769 hitting. That one's grounder to the shortstop. Abraham bobbles it, run will score, and Nieves will get on. And that'll be an error on George Abraham.
Well, we'll take a look at it again. Noel Nieves, big right-handed hitter. You'll see here it's a ground ball up the middle to the shortstop. He bobbles it. Again, he tried to pick it up just with the glove, didn't use the hand and glove together. Again, the longer he'll play, he'll realize soft hands with the glove eliminate a lot of those bad errors.
Now Clark Reck in 2 innings scored 6 runs with the error, 1 out. No RBI, but Jeremy Thring, the catcher, is up. Last time out, he struck out looking. And that one is Copen's really struggling, trying to find some location. And this is where the catcher has to be very important in communicating with the pitcher to calm him down and really set up a good target behind the plate. That one's foul behind us and into the screen. Jeremy Thring, a .483 hitter. 750 against Walsh, 3 of 4, 9 RBIs on the season. One of the better catchers in the Mickey Mantle League here in Cleveland. Copen looks into the sign from Bauman. Breaking ball, Torres is gonna, or Nieves is gonna head over to second.
Seems like the Mike is getting crossed up with Jared because it's looked like he was looking for fastball and the ball ended up being a breaking ball away.
Copen looks, ground ball to the shortstop Abraham, and he muffs it. And I think Abraham was looking for runner interference on the play. And Mike Jaskowka is also pleading his case to the third base umpire.
Well, I'm sure what the umpires are ruling, and again, when you look at interference, the interpretation of the rule is there must be some kind of contact. What happened was Noel Nieves was a heads-up runner and tried to deceive some vision from the shortstop, but there was no actual contact. Now, if the shortstop would have came up and tried to field the ball and we had contact, then they would have ruled interference. That did not happen. And you'll see that Jeremy Thring has come out. Again, one of our rules in the Mickey Mantle is to speed up the games. We have the catcher get off. He gets with 2 outs or less than 2. It's optional, where he can get his gear on and we can keep the game moving. So there's a courtesy runner now on first base for the catcher.
Santo Ortiz, the second baseman, he got on an error the first time with 2 RBIs. Runner goes, and they're saying the runner made it to second.
Well, let's see if we got our crew back there. Take a look. We see that Mike Penner is heading out. And we'll see if he has a legitimate complaint here. We'll take a look at the replay. Here's the catch. There's the tag. I think Mike Penner's got a gripe. The tag definitely occurred before he reached him. But as we know, in any game of baseball, the umpire is going to have the final ruling. They're not. Let's look at it one more time. You at home, you make the call. Here's the throw, the catch. Is he out? Replay shows the foot isn't there, and there's the tag.
Now that's a gimme there. Clark Reck gets a big break. 1 out, second and third. And up to the plate is Santo Ortiz. Ortiz, 2 RBIs in the ball game, looking for more. Ground ball to Abraham. That one gets away from the first baseman, Brad Zalowski. That scores 1, that scores 2. Error on the shortstop, George Abraham.
Well, one of the concerns that Coach Santiago had told us before the game was that he needed the bottom of the lineup to put the ball in play. Right now, Santo Ortiz has driven in 4 runs just by putting the bat on the ball. It was the ground ball doubled down the right field line, and this time he picks up another one on an errant throw.
8-0, Clark Rec, bottom of the second. And Jared Copen struggling in this ball game. Up at the plate, Edwin Martinez, the left fielder. Copen's pitch, that one's popped foul to the right side, and no more room for Joe Radzalowski, who made a very good effort trying to get at the ball.
And we're looking at our defending city champs in trouble here, Stella Walsh. In 1994, they walked away with the city title in a resounding victory over Halloran, and today they find themselves down 8-0 to Clark.
That one's a liner. One hopper to the shortstop. Abraham goes over to first, and that pulls Radzalowski off the bag. And for Abraham, the error is given to him.
Okay, let's do a little coaching here for a second, Adam. Ground ball was hit to Abraham. Both times we've had Santo Ortiz and now Edwin Martinez almost beat out his throws on speed.
Here comes the play at the plate as Bauman. And there you talk about fundamentals, the ball getting away from the catcher. That's where the pitcher has to come in and cover home plate, especially when you got a man on third. And as the run scores, coming in to score is Ortiz.
Okay, what you're seeing now is, for our viewers, a lot of cities would have a run spread rule of 10. In Cleveland Recreation, because we want to keep the kids interested in play, we call it a 5-run slaughter rule. Anytime a team scores 5 runs in the first, second, third, or fourth innings, the inning would be over. So once that 5th run scored, that's what completed the inning. While we're here at the end of the second inning, Adam, let's talk to Director Spellman about, Director, you had mentioned earlier a philosophy about getting some help and getting our parks and the volunteer program. Explain to your viewers what you're really driving at.
Well, Tim, it's really no difference than what we're looking at today. I mean, we consider our entire division a team. And if we're the major players with the city of Cleveland, we're looking to reach out into those adjoining neighborhoods and bring in some interested citizens to help us implement our programs.
We know that there's a lot of Little League organizations that are out there that use our ball fields. Are we looking to tap into some of those organizations to give us some help for the parks that they play on? Is that the long-distance goal, hopefully?
Exactly. It's very important for us, for our facilities to be used correctly. And if we can get the local communities to know what programs we have, to show us where the kids are, to be partners in coaching, to be volunteers in terms of our maintenance of our parks and playgrounds, it'll be a better situation for everyone involved.
You know, obviously, Director, you've hit a very key point. In your position, I'm sure there's a lot of big sponsors like we have Pepsi, you know, American Funland, Harvard Refuge that have come forward to make this day become a reality. A lot of viewers that we see are just the ordinary everyday citizen that says, look, you know, I'm not the guy with all the, what can I do to help? This is one way, whether it's through recreation or parks or any part of phase of our department, that they can help make this go.
That's a real good point, Tim. If you can give up your time, spend some time with these kids and help us out and help us point them in the right direction. I mean, we're looking to reach all the kids, the kids who are in positive activities in schools, but also those kids who feel alone right now and need to get involved in a real good, competitive, positive program. So we're hoping that the community will support us and get involved.
Jared Copen hits one down the line, base hit. He'll get into second base easily for the double, as Stella Walsh gets their second hit of the ball game.
Well, one of the things about Stella Walsh, Adam, is that they are not a team that is going to sit back. We saw, as we were talking to Director Mike Penner, getting his team together, regrouping them. I'm sure the first thing Mike's told him, listen, we've got a long way to go here. Let's get our heads up and let's go out and play this game with everything we have the rest of the way out.
Up at the plate for Stella Walsh is Mike Vorreiter, the designated hitter. Going back to second, then they get him on the pickoff play. They get Copen at second base, and boy, that can really take the sails out of you. You get a double, and he's picked off at second.
Well, if you're on Stella Walsh's side, you know, your head's down, but on the Clark side, you know, you can see the fun and the enjoyment of going out and playing together as a team. But this is far from over. Stella Walsh is one of those teams that's going to keep coming at you.
That one's a swing and a miss by Vorreiter. Vorreiter, 6'3", 235.
Tell him in about 2 minutes we're going to do it.
Here's the pitch from Calandras. That one is a bouncer through for a base hit. And Vorreiter gets the base hit.
Okay, well, while we take a small break here, we're going to go to Desiree. She is with the Community Relations Director from the Cleveland Indians, Mr. Alan Davis.
Hi, we're here today at beautiful Jacobs Field with Mr. Alan Davis, the Community Relations Director for the Jacobs Field and Indians Corporation. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me, Desiree.
First of all, can you give those individuals at home an idea of what does it take and what does it involve in your responsibilities as a Community Relations Director?
Well, I don't know if you have enough time to for me to tell you all of that, but let's talk primarily about our involvement with baseball, because the Indians as a franchise and the Community Relations Department as a department are very much involved with baseball, especially in the inner city. We fund and we administer the RBI program, which stands for Reviving Baseball in the Inner City. We also are very involved, of course, through the Cleveland Recreation Department with the rookie leagues that last year I think helped something like 3,000 kids in the inner city learn the basic skills of baseball. And we also this year got involved with the City of Cleveland and also the Cleveland Indians Girls Softball League, which of course is in its first year of operation and running very well.
Okay, that hits home with me because I'm a very strong female advocate of athletics. So I'm very happy to see the involvement with the girls involved with baseball across the city within the rec centers and your support behind it. There's also some information about a Clemente Park. Can you give the audience at home some information about that?
Sure. The City of Cleveland, of course, was very instrumental in renovating the park that was formerly known as Wade Seymour Park on Cleveland's west side. Lots of kids in the near west side area did not have an area in which to play baseball. The San Lorenzo Club, which is a Spanish social club on the west side, wanted to create this park. So after a few months of renovation and, of course, a lot of corporations getting behind it along with the Cleveland Indians, the Roberto Clemente Park was inaugurated on June 24th of this year, so a lot of kids on the near west side now have a place where they can play baseball.
Okay, that's wonderful. For those of you at home, please take heed. We have a large amount of support given to us by the Cleveland Indians Corporation. Not only do they support us through our programs, but they're also giving the funding for all the equipment that you see and all the shirts and the hats and things of that nature. So come on out to your local Cleveland Recreation Centers and the playgrounds. Watch these games, watch the kids in action, and we want to take this time personally to thank you and the organization for all your help and your support.
Well, thank you very much. We're very glad to do it. You know, the one thing that we think about is the fact that somewhere in that group of kids, there's a future Albert Bell or a Kenny Lofton, and at the very least, we want to create new baseball fans because Jacobs Field is always going to be a place where the fans can come and enjoy baseball, and certainly we want to spark that interest in baseball from the time the kids are very young.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and keep up the good work, and go Tribe. Okay, back to more of the game.
All right, after the short break, up at the plate now for Stella Walsh is Wayne Stella, the second baseman. His first trip as Walsh with 2 hits in the ball game. Victor Calandras really shutting down Walsh and also getting a pickoff. Fly ball, short right field, that could drop in, and it does for a base hit. Ryder easily, no, yes, he does get the second base. Wayne Stella with the Texas Leaguer.
All right, Adam, let's take a look. We talk about going the other way. You see at his head down, good swing. They're going now the other way. It's Stella Walsh's turn. You're going to see the ball drop in here. And again, give him credit. He stayed after it. Good throw into second base. And the umpire ruled him safe.
Well, the shortstop, George Abraham, is up to the plate. The first batter for Walsh. That one's a ground ball. Picked up by the third baseman, Nieves. They go over to three, and they get the easy force out as they force Ryder over at third base. So we've got 2 outs in the inning. And up to the plate for Walsh is Rick Arnold, the left fielder, his first time out. He lined out to the second baseman. That one's a ball and away, getting away from Jeremy Thwing, but the runner at second does not move, and that is Wayne Stella.
Again, we're looking at Rick Arnold from Stella Walsh, 9th grader. He'll be entering East Tech. Favorite player, Albert Bell.
That one's fouled on the first base side. And for Rick Arnold, hitting .439 with 8 RBIs. Nine to nothing. Top of the third inning here at Gordon Park in this Mickey Mantle City Championship. The winner of this contest will represent the city of Cleveland in the state Mickey Mantle Championships in Youngstown. 2 strikes on the batter, Rick Arnold, and that one hits him in the back, and he'll get a free pass, so we've got the bases loaded.
Well, we'll take a look at it. This time it's Clark's turn. See, he beans him right there in the hip area. And you really don't want to get into this situation with Stella Walsh because you're at the heart of their order. The 2 guys for Stella Walsh are those leadoff batters, and Joe Razelinski is batting second for him. And he's one of their hot hitters, third hitter for them.
Hitting .629 on the season. It's 2 for 5 against Clark the last couple times they've met. Calandra goes over to third, and the runner gets back safely. So Radzlowski is a .629 hitter. Looks, that one's low in the dirt for a ball. All right now Stella Walsh can really need that hit to get some runs on the board. They're down 9 to nothing here in the top of the third inning. Calandra's pitch, ground ball up the middle to the shortstop Aponte, and that'll end the inning as Walsh had threatened, but they get shut down, leaving 3 men on base.
Well, Adam, at this time, we're going to go to Desiree Powell, as she is with the honorary captain from Stella Walsh. It's the councilman of Ward 12, Ed Ripka.
With us right now, we have Councilman Ed Ripka from the which district?
12th Ward. It's the Fleet, Broadway, Harvard, Slavic Village area.
Okay, he's also the honorary coach today for the Stella Walsh Mickey Mantle Championship team. Thanks for being with us today.
Good to be here, and we're looking forward to a repeat championship.
That's right. You have a strong history of championships within that area through the Stella Walsh Recreation Center. Is there anything you want to say to the kids, or you've said to the kids to get them going to repeat today?
Well, what I'm going to tell the kids is just relax. This is just another day on another Saturday in July, but we got some good ball players. There's some good level-headed kids who take their baseball seriously, and I want to also congratulate Marty Pizek, who's the manager at the rec center, and the coaches, his staffing, those people work real hard to run some first-rate recreation programming out of Stella Walsh Rec Center, and programming we have in the Broadway area is as good as you'll find in any neighborhood of the city, and that's because of their hard work and some good kids who are working with them.
Okay. Now, with that, what you've gone through a lot of years within that ward, and you've seen a lot of changes within the recreation department as well as within the area. How has the area adapted to all the changes? What do you see forthcoming? What's your idea and your plans?
Well, certainly our crown jewel of improvement in the recreation programming in our area was the new pool at part of the rebuilding of Warsaw Park. And with the heat that we've had this summer, we're knocking down the gates to see kids use that pool well beyond the figures that we had prior when we had two swimming pools, two smaller pools in the area. So I think we're seeing some good wear and tear on our parks and playgrounds, but in a way that's good because we've worked hard to find the capital dollars to improve those parks and playgrounds so that we could offer the good programming and types of facilities that add to the quality of life of a community, and that's what it's all about.
That's good. We want to compliment you for the hard work and the support that you give for the Recreation Department as well as for Stella Walsh, the Rec Center. And those of you at home, as you can see, we have a wide range of activities going on today. Wish you were here. You saw a slider go past just a minute ago. But then again, thank you, and we wish Stella Walsh all the best and good luck today in today's game.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being with you.
Okay. Back to Tim and more Mickey Mantle Championship baseball.
Bottom of the third inning here at Gordon Park. Clark Rec up to the plate, and they'll have the 9-1-2 hitters, Josh Givens, Victor Colondres, and Angel Aponte. That's the scheduled hitters for the Clark team this inning. Clark Rec, 9 runs.
Okay, we're looking at number 22, Josh Givens. Again, this is the hitter, Adam, that he's got a good swing and he's a strong kid. He just has a fault of stepping into the bucket. If he can learn to step straight to the pitcher, you're going to see his average jump.
As we look at the box score for Clark, 9 runs on 4 hits, no errors. For Stella Walsh, no runs, 3 hits, 6 errors.
And again, we can see that Jared Copen, a lot of stuff is starting to drop. He might be tiring some. He's got to be around 75 pitches.
Well, in that first inning, he had 39. 64 going into this inning.
Okay, our official stat person, John Payton, informing us that we have 64.
And that, in 3 innings of play, that's a lot of pitches.
Taking a look at the Clark Recreation fans. They got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Copen's pitch. Bouncer up the middle. And they're going to give Power the air to base hit to. They're going to give that to Givens, a base hit, our official score.
Again, Adam, what I was wanting to relate to earlier in the ball game is that when you're playing defense, a lot of times the infielders will move right or left depending on where they think they're going to hit it. But they also need to know distance, like how far up, how far back, depending on the runner's speed. Like right now we have Victor Colondres up, who's got good speed, and we can see George is still playing back on this big diamond. And in fairness to him, he's only been here twice. So with Victor Colondres being up, you really want to play a couple steps just because of his speed. You're going to need to get to the ball sooner.
That one's fouled away. And also, the grass will slow it up just a tad bit. It's not like when you play in the skin infield where it's all dirt, where you can get that quick bounce. The ball's not going to have that quick movement as it is on grass.
Again, we see Chester Murphy waiting to see if they're going to throw the ball in here. And again, I think what's happened is the umpire is saying because the other ball actually didn't leave the playing area that they must be able to use that ball.
Colondres with 1 strike on him. On deck is Angel Aponte, the shortstop. Runner on first, that is Josh Givens. That one's fouled away. and tipped back into the catcher. 2 strikes.
This guy scored 19 runs during the regular season, 15 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, good speed.
Runner goes, and it's hit in between first and second. That'll move the runner over to third. The hit and run was on. Actually, you had Givens going. The second baseman moved.
Well, when you look from a coach's standpoint at a hit and run, making it work and having it look pretty, you can't see it any better than this. Runners moving, second baseman going to cover right in the hole that was vacated by the second baseman.
So Angel Aponte, the shortstop, is up with runners at first and third. That one's a fly ball to left field. Incoming is Rick Arnold. He's underneath it, makes the catch. Runner tags. And the runner will score, and that is Josh Givens. So give the RBI on the sacrifice fly to Angel Aponte. And that run, and Calandras did not tag, so he's still on first base. So you get the hit and run to move the runner over, pop fly to the outfield, get you another run, and it is 10-0 Clark Rec. Ground ball picked up, bobbled by the first baseman. All the runners will be safe. Radzelowski.
And what's really the situation here, Adam, when you look at it, it's the speed of the Clark Rec team that's creating some of the problems. Their quickness has been able to create. Tito Torres, left-hand batter, has excellent speed. On a normal ground ball with normal speed, they make that play.
Ben Thwing, the center fielder, is up. Error on the first baseman. First and second, Clark Rec. They have a 10-0 lead. The pitch by Copen is low and away. 2 hits in the inning for Clark Rec. Is Jared Copen just struggling this afternoon. Breaking ball just missing high. Count quickly goes to 2-0 to Thwing, who got on the first time by an error, struck out his second time. That one's swinging. Count goes to 2-1.
Again, Benjamin Thwing, favorite player, Manny Ramirez.
That one swings away, gets away from the catcher. Runners advance, and Bauman getting tangled up with the home plate umpire. So second and third for Thwing, looking to drive in some more runs, as Clark Rec scored 1 this inning. There you see Copen just trying to really get the ball over the plate. From the windup, fouls that one straight back.
Again, Benjamin Thwing, one of the big RBI hitters for the Clark Recreation team. We're looking at Victor Calandras on third base. Starting pitcher today for Clark Recreation.
2-1. Breaking ball high. And it looks like that time when Copen was throwing the breaking ball came up top, and it's just breaking high. It's not breaking down. Ball 4 for Thwing. He gets on the walk, and the bags are juiced for Noel Nieves, who has scored twice. He's gotten on 2 errors. And he is looking to really get some aluminum on the ball. Copen from the windup, high and away for a ball. So Jared Copen having some problems getting the location around and getting it in the strike zone. Noel Nieves, 5'10", 220-pounder. That's a shot in the left center field. Back is the center fielder, makes the catch is Rusnick. That will easily score a run on the long sacrifice fly as Kalundra scores in from third. Nieves gets the RBI sacrifice fly, and it is now 11-0 Clark Rec. And Nieves got all of that one, Tim.
Well, when you're sitting out here and you know you got a guy like Victor Calandras out on the mound, and you got guys like Noel Nieves, Benjamin Thwing, Tito Torres in there hitting for you, kind of makes it an easy ball game to enjoy.
Now the catcher, Jeremy Thwing, is up to the plate with runners on first and second. Here's Copen's pitch. Just missing. Oh no, they're going to call a strike. A little delay there by the home plate umpire. I think he's getting his cues from the major league umps. They like to hesitate on their call. Copen with the breaking ball and getting Thwing to swing.
You know, Adam, we would be remiss, and we're going to be, at the end of this inning, actually talking to Bob DiBiasio, but the Cleveland Indians have really stepped forward with Sandlot baseball in Cleveland.
Ground ball to the third baseman, Jaskloka picks it up, throws over, and they get him over at first. And that'll end the inning for Clark Rec. They get 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 men left on. After top of 3, it is Clark Rec 11, Stella Walsh nothing.
Hey, at this time, Adam, we're going to go to Desiree, and she is with the Public Relations Director of the Cleveland Indians, Bob DiBiasio.
We're here with the Vice President of the Public Relations Department for the Cleveland Indians, and he's going to give us some more information about the Mickey Mantle program within the city of Cleveland.
Hello there. We're very proud to be a part of the Cleveland Baseball Federation and the Mickey Mantle program. The Indians have a long-standing relationship with amateur baseball in the city of Cleveland, and again, we're very proud to be a part of it. We give the young kids an opportunity to do something different during the summertime, give them some good positive options in their life. We think baseball can teach a lot of good things such as teamwork and discipline, and learn how to adjust and cooperate and be responsible. So those are the kind of things that we look forward to helping the kids not only learn the skill of baseball, but all the other things that are a part of being a member of a team.
And not only does your organization, from what I understand, provide the shirts and the equipment and all the things necessary for each of them to play at their local sites, but you also spend time with them with former players and people within the organization that speak to the kids and try to talk to them, from what I understand.
Well, we try to make it almost an all-purpose program, more so, again, than just learning how to play the game of baseball. It's more important for these young people to learn some social skills, again, have some good self-esteem, to understand what good, healthy competition is all about, what it means to be a teammate, to be a member of a team, which means sacrificing for somebody else. Again, all the important values that we try to instill in our children and each other, and we try to help that along in the process using the great sport of baseball as the backdrop for that.
And I understand that deep down you have an ideal dream that you would love to see happen, and if it has not already happened, you'd like to see continue happen. Could you explain that to our audience?
Well, one of the first things when we got involved in the Mickey Mantle League and our Rookie League program and our Larry Doby RBI program is one day have one of those youngsters get in a Cleveland Indians uniform and perform here at Jacobs Field. Then we know we had quite a success on our hands of this program, helping a young man get himself started on a path to become a professional baseball player, and of course play for the Cleveland Indians certainly would be a dream come true for all of us.
Well, on behalf of the City of Cleveland, and particularly the Division of Recreation, we'd like to thank you for all of your support and the organization's support, and we hope to have a long-lasting future ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Back to more Mickey Mantle baseball.
Welcome back to Gordon Park for Cleveland's Mickey Mantle Championship. I'm Tim Wells with Adam Mendoza. And Adam, we just heard from Bob DiBiasio about the commitment that the Cleveland Indians have made to Sandlots. Truthfully, when we look at the Cleveland Indians and the commitment that they have made, program like Mickey Mantle, they have come forward with equipment and some uniforms, and it's been a dual effort between them and the Cleveland Baseball Federation. And at the end of this inning, we're going to meet the president of the Cleveland Baseball Federation, hear what he had to say. But truthfully, the Cleveland Indians charities really do make a difference for a lot of kids in Cleveland. Just alone, I know from the recreation standpoint that we probably have over 7,000 youngsters that are able to enjoy baseball. We had a girls softball league that was run this spring. We have the Rookie League program. We have the Cleveland Mickey Mantle League. And we also have a youth baseball program that's going on in Cleveland that kids play in the evening hours now throughout the whole city. A lot of the kids that we see here are products of that youth baseball program at their recreation centers. So mom and dad, it's a free program. It's full uniforms, a lot of coaching, and a lot of fun. Next year, you need to give your recreation center a call. Tell them you want to get involved in some summer baseball.
And I know growing up in the city of Cleveland, the opportunities were not there as much as it is now. Mickey Mantle was a vastly different league then, and it's good. It's a good program that's happening in the city of Cleveland. 3, 4, 5 batters are up for Stella Walsh. Joe Radzlowski, Jacob Bauman, and Mike Jaskloka. Radzlowski, the first baseman.
I think Joe was the one that made that last out, Adam. So
okay,
this should be Jacob
Bauman.
Nice left-hander. Who's his favorite player from the Atlanta Braves? David Justice. All those lefties love the left-handed swing.
Yeah, but there's Carlos Baerga. He's got a great left-handed swing.
Well, he's a switch hitter though, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You look at the Clark lineup, and you say, "Geez, how do you get some of these guys out?" But right here in town, the Cleveland Indians, I sure in the heck wouldn't want to try to get those guys out.
Now, the Indians have a potent lineup, 1 through 9. And everybody talks about Albert Bell, Carlos Baerga, but you look at 7, 8, 9 on that lineup. They can kill you just like 3, 4, and 5. As Bauman goes down swinging. Bauman with the strikeout. That is the second strikeout thrown by Victor Colondres. And up to the plate is Mike Jaskolka, the third baseman. 2 for 2. Or make it 1 for 1 with a single.
Now you see where that step was. Stepped out of the bucket. Again, he's trying to pull the ball. Again, coaches will tell me, step toward the pitcher.
Colondres wind up the pitch on the outside part of the plate. Good for a strike. So quickly, Colondres ahead of the hitter with an 0-2 count. Got him looking there, strike 3. Nice pitch there by Colondres. Little breaking ball.
A lot of emotion, a lot of excitement. I talked to Victor before the ball game. I said, "Victor, tell us what we're going to see from you." He said, "Well, I'm just going to get in the game and go out there and do the best I can," and we've seen that. We'll take a look at it here. Nice breaking ball. Again, you can see he had step committed. Good catch by Jeremy Thwing. Threw the curveball high and in, dropped it over for a strike.
Mike Bowman, the catcher. The first pitch was a strike. This one is a ball, so we're at 1-1. Bauman 0 for 1. Hit into a double play his last time up. A great play by Angel Aponte that last time he was up at the plate. Bauman, a .290 hitter. Strike 2, 0 for 5 against Clark Rec in their previous 2 meetings. Here comes the pitch. That one's low in the dirt for a ball. 2-1 on the count on Bowman. Good pitching effort by Colondres today, giving up just 3 hits on the afternoon. That one's a shot into the gap in the left center field. Center fielder Thwing will get to the ball, and Bowman will get into second with a double.
Again, Mike Bowman comes up with the big hit. We've heard about him showing some power right there. You saw it, a line shot to left center. Picks up a double for Stella Walsh.
Now, the last time Stella Walsh had a runner on second, that was Copen, and he was picked off. So it is possible we can see the second and short combination of Aponte and Quinones trying to get him. That one's popped up and out of play into the stands. Ooh. And it just hit your car. Is that your car, the red one?
I hope not. I hope not. Jared Copen, who doubled the last time up, looking for a little base hit, gets Stella Walsh on the board.
Copen, the pitcher, 1 for 1 with a single. Runner goes, ball's tagged foul. So Stella Walsh had a little bit of a hit and run going. 11-0, bottom of the fourth, or top of the fourth, I should say. Victor Colondres in this inning, 16 pitches, the most thrown in an inning for him this game. Colondre and Jeremy Thwing will have a conference trying to get their signal straight. Jared Copen. Got a double his first time up. Looks for one more hit. 2 outs in the inning. That one's a fastball high. They go back to throw to second. Good throw there by Thwing. Strong arm.
This Clark team is a very talented team.
Colondre's not happy with the baseball, wants another one. And I don't blame him. I like the roughed up ball. You get that better feel of it than that new ball that gets thrown in. Man on second, Colondres with 2 strikes against Copen. That one is a pop fly to left field that has the left fielder going back, and that is out of play, foul ball. And Copen getting around a little early on that pitch. One ball and 2 strikes on Copen, the pitcher, who has struggled a bit this afternoon in this Mickey Mantle City Championship. Colondres pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Colondres gets out of the inning. For Walsh, 1 hit, no runs. They leave 1 man on, so we've played 4.5. It's 11-0, Clark Rec.
Well, we'll take a look at the replay here. You see a little fastball action from Victor Colondres. We've seen the good breaking ball, and that time it was the fastball that ended the inning at him. And at this time, we will go to Desiree, who is with the president of the Cleveland Baseball Federation, Mr. Ralph Vera.
Okay, with us today we have 2 very special guests. We have the president, Mr. Ralph Vera of the Cleveland Baseball Federation, and in a few minutes I'm going to give him the opportunity to introduce our other special guest. How you doing, Mr. Vera?
Fine, fine. Good to be here again.
Glad to see you. We were here a year ago watching the championships, the first championship round for Mickey Mantle. It was Stella Walsh versus Halloran. A lot has happened within a year. First of all, we want to say the Tribe is doing very well. That's a change, and we've got a full season. But what has the Baseball Federation seen within this past year that's been different or an addition?
Well, we've seen a marked increase in the number of children playing. In addition to that, we've seen a lot of parents coming out, which is grateful. The parents support this league, and without their participation and bringing the kids out and making the kids feel as if they're important to them and to the league, why, we wouldn't have it. But we've got a great number of younger kids playing. Our Little League, our Rookie League, our T-Ball League are all expanding.
That's good. As a new center manager myself, and then within my center and my district, we had Mickey Mantle for the first year this year, and we've seen a lot of excitement. Kids who have never played formal baseball before actually graduate to the level to actually play Mickey Mantle in our neighborhood, and it's a big achievement. Do you see a lot of growth from the smaller league going straight up to the Mickey Mantle League?
That's why we put it in place. There was not a Mickey Mantle League, Desiree. Last year was our first time. And we found out that by having the Mickey Mantle League, now we've given the younger kids a goal to shoot for, and that's playing in the Mickey Mantle League. We hope maybe next year, and Dick will talk about that, the Connie Mack League, but we hope next year to do something different.
Okay, well, can you introduce us now to this other special guest that we have?
This is Dick Hyland. Dick Hyland is our executive director and also the secretary, and takes care of the day-to-day activity of the Cleveland Baseball Federation.
Well, thank you for being with us here today, sir. How you feel?
Well, I feel fine. I'm always glad to be out here. I come down to Gordon Park quite a bit and watch the ball game. There's a great variety of ball games.
Now, Mr. Vera mentioned something about a Connie Mack League. What is exactly Connie Mack for those at home that may not be familiar?
Well, Connie Mack is a step up in age for kids that are more or less the high school seniors and juniors that are looking for a place to play. There's a lot of them in the city, and we think that we can accommodate them by forming a Connie Mack League.
Okay.
And that's what our goal is, and hopefully if some people start donating some money to the Cleveland Baseball Federation, we can do a lot of things.
Okay, for those at home, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mickey Mantle is 15, 16, and Connie Mack, then I would believe, would be 17, 18?
18, correct.
Okay, you've heard it here first. The City of Cleveland, in cooperation with Cleveland Baseball Federation, is working towards a Connie Mack League next year. Any further comments, Mr. Vera, before we leave?
Yeah, I think we'd like to thank all of our sponsors who really have helped us over the years, and mostly the parents, the coaches that are taking all their time on a volunteer basis to bring these kids out here. We thank them most deeply. Thank you.
Okay.
And don't forget our staff, you know, the people that are working very hard to keep all these things going, like Joe Wise and Paul Beskett and many others down through the program.
It takes a lot of people to make a program very successful, and we want to thank you for all of your support. Thank you for working with the Division of Recreation, and we hope next year we do see a Connie Mack.
Thank you, Desiree.
Okay. Back to more Mickey Mantle Championship baseball.
Hey, you're back for the Cleveland Mickey Mantle Championships at Gordon Park. It's a beautiful day, and there we see Mary from the CLV TV35 crew. Greg Camp, they've given us some great shots. As you're looking at CLV TV35 Sports, and Clark Recreation is back up at the plate. It's number 14, Julio Quinones.
And I'm going to have to give you a Spanish lesson, Tim. Quinones.
Quinones.
I think that's what you got me here for, sir.
That's it, Adam.
Low and inside on the dirt for Quinones, who is playing second base. Julio, you know, you look at this Clark Rec team, they got some great names on there. Tito Torres, Julio Quinones, Omar Feliciano. Baseball names.
Let me ask you a question. Is it Ortiz or Ortez?
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
You know, that's why the Indians are doing so well. They've had the influx of Latin American ball players. In the 70s, they didn't have that. That is, I think, one of the big keys for the Indians, honestly. Ground ball to the shortstop. To Abraham, goes over the Radslowski, and Abraham made a nice play that time.
Well, you know, I got to ask you this question, Adam. I got a guy that works for me by the name of Ortiz. And every time somebody does something great, he tells me the guy's Hispanic. Every time he doesn't, he tells me he's Venezuelan. I got to find out which ones are really Hispanic Puerto Ricans.
They're all Hispanic. It just, well, Venezuelans, you know, they're all from South America, the Latin American countries. They're all Hispanic. As Ramos is up to the plate, Ben Ramos, 5'8", 175 pounds, hitting .286 on the season, playing left field. That one's inside.
Again, one of the nice things about the Cleveland Mickey Mantle League, besides it being for all Cleveland residents, is all the rules that mom and dad would really want to see as far as teaching fundamentals, social skill workshops. The teams in the league got a chance to sit down with Kevin Romberg, Gary Roggenberg, Rich Rollins. Talked about goals in life, not just being a baseball player, but actually heading in the right direction. Mandatory play. Every person that comes in our league has to play in every game. Teaching discipline and teamwork. Those are the things that we've been stressing to the coaches and we've tried to move forward to.
Ramos gets jammed inside, fouls it away, and that is some of the things that you do need to stress. And you know, you look at some leagues, they want to stack teams and just get the best to play, but this gives a lot of kids an opportunity to play. Foul tipped once again into the glove of the catcher, but couldn't hang on. Bauman.
I don't know if Hank, we can get a real good shot of this guy in the batter's box from one of your cameras, but one of the things the coach shows is a strong arm, rugged player. You can see here you got a guy like Ben Ramos coming off the bench here. Again, he starts a lot of games. They switch off a lot with the kids at Clark. It's really not actually he's a starter, he's a sub. They all are interchangeable and do a lot of playing, but this guy has got a right attitude, big, strong kid.
That one's inside for a ball, and so Ben Ramos works it for a walk. And Ramos is on first. And Moriette is up to the plate, and Dennis Moriette hitting 143 with 1 RBI. A 9th grader that will be attending Thomas Jefferson. There you see Ramos on first. Copen looking, delivers. This one's a high pop fly. Second baseman Stella is underneath, makes the catch for the out.
You know, we talk about Dennis Moyot. Here's a guy that perfect attendance, citizenship and school award. And he's one of the guys that went out and said, you know, Mr. Wells, the guy I like best in the Cleveland is Eddie Murray. Does anybody can go out and be 3,000 hits Hall of Famer and have a class act like him? I wish someday I can be like Eddie Murray. And that really tells us a lot about the young man, Dennis Moyet.
Because you figure a lot of the kids, they want the superstars, but Eddie Murray is a class act. He is that type of guy that, you know, that Moyet wants to be. Up at the plate for Clark Rec, Victor Colondres, the pitcher. He's 2 for 3 on the afternoon as he fouls the first one back. A double and scored, popped up, and he singled and scored. So Colondres looking to add a little bit more. And Colondres in this ball game, pitching a very good game despite having some stitches on one of his fingers.
Yeah, we had heard coming into the game that he had some stitches on his right hand, but the way he's pitched here today, you never would have known it.
Ben Ramos on first, 2 outs. Ramos long lead, and they're going to have him in a rundown. Good toss there by Bauman as they work the rundown, working him back to first, and Ramos is thrown out at first as they picked him off.
Well, we'll take a look at it here. You can see he picks him off, and again, they create a rundown. Again, this is nice fundamental action. You'll see here the catcher comes down to back up. Pitcher over at first base. Nice tag. Good job.
And for Clark Rec, they go down with no runs, no hits. 5 innings of play here. Clark Rec leads it 11-0. Clark Rec 11 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Stella Walsh. No runs, 4 hits, 7 errors. And those errors have been very costly.
Well, Adam, we mentioned about a lot of our sponsors, Harvard Refuge, the Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Baseball Federation. Very special place that's been a part of making this day very special for our kids. And we're going to meet Joe Skorovic from American Funland. Moms, dads, kids, this is the best known secret in Cleveland. Every family always dreams, where can we go out and have a great time? Where can we really go out and enjoy it? Well, right now it's American Funland here in Berea Row, and our special guest is Joe Skorovic.
Hi, Tim. How are you? We just like to say that just new to this year, we brought a go-kart track to our facility here at American Funland, and it's one of our more popular rides that we do have here. Now over to my left over here, we have the fielding cages. It's the only one in the state of Ohio. We have the hardball cage and we also have the softball cage. You get 10 pitches for the $1 token. And as you go from the fielding cages to the right, we have 9 batting cages. We have 4 hardball cages from 30 mile an hour all the way up to 80 mile an hour. We have a fast pitch softball cage and we have 4 slow pitch softball cages. And also when you keep scanning the area, you also notice that we have an 18-hole miniature golf courses for all the family, mom, dads. We have kids from 2 years old all the way up to the senior citizens that come to play.
You know, we mentioned batting cages and we look at the golf, but really a lot of kids say, what is it without the ice cream?
Oh, that's true. Most of the people come here for our homemade ice cream. We offer 16 flavors at all times, and we have homemade custard, vanilla, and chocolate. We have all the milkshakes and sundaes, and it's become extremely popular with all the families. They come strictly just for the ice cream.
You know, when we look at this beautiful place and a lot of things kids can do, whether it's a tot or a senior, they all can come out and have a great time. But really, why did American Funland get involved with the Cleveland Mickey Mantle program?
We really wanted to get involved with the community. That's why we're really community oriented, and we want to put back into the community. So we wanted to give back to the community what we try to put into the place. So we're always trying to help out, you know, the less fortunate and other you know, groups of people that actually need help and support. That's why we do support the Mickey Mantle League.
You know, we talk about baseball and they're hot. We think of the Tribe. Hey, maybe let's take a walk over here to one of our viewers and really find out what they think about the Cleveland Indians.
That's great.
Marianne Koziel, I see the Tribe shirt. You're thinking Cleveland Indians. Do we have a favorite player? And what do you think? Is the Tribe going all the way?
Yeah, they're going to go all the way, and I like Jim Thome.
What about you, young man? Favorite Indians player?
I got to go with Albert Bell.
What do you guys like best about American Funland?
I like that all the kids can come out with their families. You have little kids of ages from all ages can come out, from the littlest kid to like teenagers and parents, adults, everyone.
Eric, you being a coach in the Mickey Mantle program, how has American Funland helped your kids?
Well, I got to bring them out and go to the cages, and well, hopefully it helped them out with their batting averages a little bit.
Okay, thanks. Well, you can see a lot of people have got involved in American Funland. Joe, our hearts go out to your company for being a part of the Mickey Mantle program. A lot of kids, over 150 kids played this year because of the support that you guys gave. And for the ones that aren't baseball oriented, we got the go-karts, we got golf, and we also got the ice cream and plenty of refreshments. Again, we're out at 12201 Berea Road. Come out and have a great time. We'll go back now to some more Mickey Mantle baseball. There they are, the center manager and Edwin Saniel's wives waving to the crowd. They got to be feeling awful good today. It was the Mickey Mantle Championships you're watching on CLV TV 35. Clark Recreation and Stella Walsh. As number 19, Mike Verrider of Stella Walsh gets the first down on a ground ball to the second baseman.
Well, up next for Stella Walsh is the second baseman, Wayne Stella. 1 for 1 in the afternoon with a single, got as far as third base. And for Stella Walsh, they're trying to get as much as they can on offense, as Victor Colondres has really shut down Stella Walsh's hitting attack.
Second baseman, the 13, Wayne Stella.
That one's high and inside for a ball. Colondra thought he may have been able to sneak that one by for a strike. Colondres from the windup and the pitch, high again. And he's really got a small target with Stella at 5'6", 112 pounds, hitting .227. In the afternoon, 1 for 1 with a single. Ball 4 for Stella, so he gets on base. And that is the first walk really given up by Colondres in this game. He's hit a batter, but actually given up the first pass on ball. Up to the plate now is the leadoff hitter, the shortstop, George Abraham. They tried a little pickoff move as Jeremy Thwing gets the pitch out, but Stella's back at first. Abraham lined out to the second baseman and got on a fielder's choice. Ground ball to the shortstop. That's Aponte right through his legs, through the wickets. And Stella will go back to second base. Angel Aponte having that one go through his legs. So E6 on the play. Stella over at second base. One out here in the 5th inning. And Rick Arnold, the left fielder's up. They tried the pickoff move, and Kalondras fakes. They were successful earlier on when they got the pitcher Copen back in the 3rd inning. Kalondras' pitch is a strike. That one's a throw back to second. All right, Jeremy Thring has a very strong arm. Quick release getting it to second base. 0-1 count on Arnold, the left fielder. First and second for Stella Walsh. That one, he stepped into the bucket, bouncing ball to the second baseman who couldn't handle it. And all the runners are safe around the bases, as Julio Quinones could not come up with the clean field for the error. So Arnold gets on an error. We have Stella at third, Abraham at second, and Rick Arnold at first. And the first baseman, Joe Radzalowski, up to the plate. 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Radzalowski looking to try to get Stella Walsh on the board. 5th inning here, 11-0. Fly ball, left center field. Center fielder Thwing is underneath it. Stella's gonna tag, and he'll score. So that'll be the first run for Walsh as Radzalowski gets the sacrifice fly and the RBI. But the other runners do not advance, so Walsh finally gets on the board in the 5th inning, 11-1. Jacob Bauman, the right fielder, up to the plate now, the left-handed. Pretty close stance. Ground ball, just right of the pitcher. Kalondras dives, doesn't get it. Quinones throws over, and they get him out at first base. A nice play by Julio Quinones to get Bauman out at first base.
Well, we'll take a look at it here, Adam. Again, you can see he really pitches him in tight, gets it on the handle. And again, you can see here a nice effort by Victor Quinones, but give Julio credit. He stayed with it. Nice sidearm toss, and just gets the out. Good call by Gary Heschel at first.
Well, to end the inning for Walsh, they get 1 run on no hits. 2 errors in that inning. After 5.5, the score, Clark Rec 11, Stella Walsh 1.
Well, Adam, it's really been one of those days we can see the bright skies here at Gordon Park. Beautiful facility. A lot of the viewers that are watching this will be looking toward the fall season and some things that they can be doing in their recreation programs coming up after the summer hot season will end and school starts. Recreation will still be moving forward. There'll be girls volleyball programs for the younger girls as well as the teenage girls. We also will have flag football, tackle football, co-ed indoor soccer. We'll also have some learn to swim classes, a water polo league, as well as on the artistic calendar. There'll be dance programs as well as arts and crafts, ceramics, performing arts, as well as the visual arts. So give your centers a call and get involved this year. In a few minutes, Adam, we're going to ask John Payton to come over and have the headsets. He's been the program director of the Cleveland Baseball Federation. Done a pretty good job keeping the stats today, keeping us on our toes, and we're going to talk to him to actually find out. He's really the person that's kind of oversees everything and kind of gives me the strength and the guidance to keep going on. So in a few minutes, we'll get a chance to talk to John.
For Clark Rec in this half of the 5th inning. 1, 2, and 3. Victor Colondres, Angel Aponte, and Tito Torres. 1, 2, and 3 in the lineup. The first pitch is outside for a ball. Jared Copen, pitching in the 5th inning, has struggled with his control. Copen's pitch has Colondres swinging to the outside, and that one just got the tip of catcher's Bauman. Really just missed catching it with the glove. Looks like he may have jammed his finger. And joining us in here, John Payton.
How you doing, Adam?
Oh, I haven't seen you since the football season.
You're getting raring up for that one, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Some good things happening in Cleveland Baseball Federation. As the pitch from Copen is outside for a ball.
We're excited about it. I think we refocused our efforts about 2 years ago, and you're seeing part of the refocusing process.
Ground ball picked up by Copen at first. He'll easily throw it over to Razlowski, and Colondres is out on the grounder.
Our participation rate in this program went up 28% from last year, and I think you're going to see the effects of it now as these kids go on to play in their respective Cleveland high schools. So we're excited about this program, and it's going to keep on building.
Up to the plate now for Clark Rec is Angel Aponte. Struck out his first time up at the plate, singled his second, and had a sacrifice with an RBI, 1 RBI in the afternoon. Aponte, the shortstop.
John, a lot of these teenagers will go on and play in the Cleveland public schools, but maybe you know the numbers and really give us a comprehensive look at what the baseball program is, maybe starting with the youngest kids we know as the T-ballers.
Nice catch out there.
Nice catch by the right fielder, Adam.
Jacob Bauman coming in, looked for the wind and finally came in for the catch.
Well, we'll take a look at it again. You can hear in the background, we get in. Again, fingers down, 2 hands, good catch. Nice job by Jacob Bauman.
Tito Torres is up for Clark Rec, the first baseman.
I think, Tim, you saw today in our youth baseball day here in Cleveland. You have the T-ball program. You got about 1,000 youth playing, which is the highest number we've had in about 10 years. And then you have the rookie league program, which is just caught on like wildfire. And a lot of people say it's just because of the pitching machine. I don't think it's that. I think the kids do really want to come and start learning baseball, and this is where it starts with that rookie league. And their participation rate's over 1,500. And you go to our Class F program of 1,000, and this Mickey Mantle program.
Well, the ground out to the first baseman, Razlowski, and this is a rarity for Clark Rec, a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Clark Rec still leads at 11-1. And John, you're talking about how you start from the younger kids, getting them to play baseball. You always hear that talk that there aren't kids out playing baseball or hardball anymore, not learning the fundamentals. They're sitting there playing video games, and you're saying that the numbers are growing, and I think that's a good sign.
Well, I think like anything else, I think people just don't understand that the kids have so many things to do that they project their time in that, and they're out there playing baseball in the evenings. You go to any city, Cleveland Diamond, Tim can attest to this because he has to handle all the permits. There isn't one diamond that's not being used for Cleveland baseball in the summer, and we have, what, close to 50 diamonds, Tim, that we permit out?
Absolutely, John. And our field space has been so tight this year because of the growth of baseball. I mean, almost every evening you can see that these fields are being used by our residents, whether they're Little League organizations or our Cleveland recreation programs. We also, one of the feathers in our hat, John, is that the adult baseball program does not go ignored as well. We are one of the largest, John?
We're one of the largest in Northeast Ohio. What's unique about our adult baseball is the managers make a commitment to try to get youth that have completed their 18th year of age to come on their teams and play. So we have a complete baseball program. You start at age 6, you can go all the way up to Well, Tim, what year did you retire in? How old were you? 39?
You mean somebody like me who's just
and
hit
Mendoza,
30?
Mendoza wants to make a comeback next year. He only has to shake a few pounds, and he's coming back. So you can see that the old timers can still play this game.
I mean, it's true. I think last year and this year, you've heard a lot about the Cleveland Adult League, and that's actually got the fire burning in me to try to make a comeback. Now I just have to see if a team will want me.
We just got to know if it's the 35 and over or the 55 and older.
No.
We're not sure yet.
A 30 and over.
30, okay.
I'm that in-betweener between 30 and 35.
No, but I think it's a fallacy. Kids don't want to play baseball. The kids are playing baseball. It's just you have to go out and go see them play baseball, and they're going to play in the evening. I mean, during the days, the city recreation department's got so many programs going with their playground program, their swim program, that the kids try taking all the activities. And I think you compare Cleveland with any metropolitan area and offers probably one of the best, if not the finest, youth programs for a metropolitan area. And I think it's attested by the fact that when I go to different cities, there's no comparison in our program. I think it's a credit to Mayor White and the baseball program. It's a credit to the Cleveland Indians and Cleveland Baseball Federation. And, of course, you have to tip your hat to the Bureau of Organized Sports with Tim Wells and Commissioner Irvin White. I mean, their hands are filled every day. They're like ESPN. They got more balls up in the air than they know what to do with, but somehow when they all fall down, they're all doing a fine job with their programs.
Mike Jaskloka is the batter, swings on the third strike, and he gets on the error as Tito Torres cannot handle the ball being thrown by Jeremy Thwing.
Again, we're in the 6th inning. We can see Clark Recreation, Victor Calandras right here. I'm sure Mike Penner is telling him, hey, listen, let's wait him out. Let's look for something that we want as our pitch.
Mike Bauman, the catcher. Ground ball to the third baseman, Nieves, over to 2, and that one is as the second baseman and shortstop miscommunicate. That goes into the outfield, and George Abraham, or make that Jaskloka, gets over to third on the error. And it's good to see that all the baseball programs in the city of Cleveland are growing, and I'm sure it's going to continue to grow as we head on more into this decade.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Again, like, see, 1,000 youth playing T-ball, and you've got 1,500 playing rookie league. I mean, it's 2,500 kids. It's a nice base to build off of from.
And we talked about the Indians earlier, Tim, and their cooperation to make all these efforts possible.
Again, I just want to thank CLTV for televising today's events, our special sponsors. And again, a special thanks to you, Adam, for taking time out from your busy schedule and doing the play-by-play. And again, sincere thanks to Tim Wells, manager of Organized Sports. He put this whole thing together, and he put Youth Baseball Day in Cleveland together. And he should take it the tip of the hat, because if there's one man that's been through the wars, if you want to use that terminology, in the city of Cleveland baseball, it's Tim Wells. I think he's seen every baseball dime in the city. He's seen every umpire, and I think he's pretty well seen every kid that's played baseball since the early 70s. So, again, I think let's tip our hat to Tim on a nice job.
Well, thanks, John, but, you know, it really comes down to everybody working together in the city of Cleveland.
Well, I'm going to go back to my scoring area there, okay? I'll let you guys finish it up from here.
Okay, John.
Right,
thank you, and thank you, the Cleveland Baseball Federation.
Well, Victor Calandras the pitch. That one's a pop fly, left field. Ben Ramos is underneath it, makes the catch. And the runner fakes the tag, and that's going to be thrown in. And here comes the run in, as Jaskloka gets in for the score on the error. So Jared Copen gets the sacrifice fly. That leaves a runner at third base, and that is Mike Bauman. And up to the plate is Mike Vorreiter, the designated hitter. 1 for 2, a single, and he grounded out. And they get him at third on the pickoff play. Second time that Clark Rec has gotten a Stella Walsh runner on the pickoff.
You know, you don't see that often in baseball. You always hear about that left-hander and his move to first base. Here's a great thing that you see that Edwin Santiago is taking time out to show his right-handed pitchers is the pickoff move to third base.
2 outs for Ryder. Whoa, stabbed down there by Nieves. And Verrider gets thrown out. What a gun by Noel Nieves. He rifled that one over the diamond. Oh, boy.
You know, here's a team that, you know, at second and third, nobody out, you know, didn't look good. And here you talk about hustle. You can't teach hustle. It has to come from within. Now, Big Mike's got a long way to go here, but Noel knocks it down, gets up, and again, he's a big guy. Stays with it, shows a nice, strong arm. Throw to first base, it beats Verrider to the bag for the third out of the inning. Good hustle by the Clark Recreation team.
Well, that inning for Walsh, they score one run, no hits, but there were 2 errors in the inning. Clark leads it 11-2, 11 runs, 6 hits for Clark's 4 errors. For Stella Walsh, 2 runs, 5 hits, 7 errors. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and for Clark Rec, they'll have Ben Thwing, Noel Nieves, and Jeremy Thwing.
Again, we're looking at the Clark Rec bench. This will be the bottom of the 6th inning, Adam. They'll bat one more time, and then they'll go out and try to pick up 3 outs and a city title to Cleveland. Yes, we did.
Well, for Clark Rec, just one more inning away from representing the city of Cleveland in Youngstown for the state Mickey Mantle Championships.
And it's, you know, in very realistic terms, it's a very fond memory. The last time the Clark Recreation made that trip, Edwin was really helping me coach the team at that time when I was the center manager at Clark. And I'm looking forward to seeing that this happen here again today. But at this time, we'll take a timeout, folks, and when we come back, it'll be the conclusion of the City of Cleveland Mickey Mantle Championships.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee, all the way home.
This may look like ordinary garbage in front of me, but actually it's the start of something beautiful. Cleveland has implemented a curbside recycling program that makes our city a more beautiful place to live, and it's easy too. Put bottles, cans, and plastic containers in blue bags like these, and tie cardboard and newspaper in bundles and put them on the curb with the trash. I urge everyone to participate in this most important program to help clean up Cleveland. Cleveland Curbside Recycling. It's good riddance.
I tell you, LC, you got to be real tough and smart in order to be a champion in this United States.
No, you don't, man. To be a champion in the ring, man, all you need is a little muscle, man. That's
Ooh, man, you're both right just a little bit. You got to be just chilling. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, with my friend, we're all telling you 2 things. Stay in school and say no to drugs. Am I right?
That's right.
Am I right?
You're right.
Ooh, yeah, dig it.
Órale, míralo.
Tenemos problemas en nuestras calles. Las drogas tienen a la comunidad infectada. Nuestros niños son las principales víctimas. Pero no podemos perder la esperanza. La Coalición de Prevención del Crimen te enviará información de cómo puedes comenzar. Tienen ejemplos de prevención que están comprobados y que te pueden ayudar. Para unirte hoy mismo a la lucha contra el crimen, llame a 1-800-727-únete. Únete a la lucha contra el crimen.
make your mama cry, lose your best friend, die an early death. Do you really want to be in a gang? Think about it. Peace out.
Oh, back here, 6th inning. Clark Rec leading it 11-2. First batter popped up to the third baseman. That was Ben Thwing, and up to the plate is Noel Nieves. He's retired 6 batters in a row. So Jared Copen getting his stuff in order, but the damage was done early on in the ball game. Copen, the wind-up, the pitch. Bouncer, he gets it over at the just left of the mound, throws him out at first base. 2 outs in the inning for Walsh. Jeremy Thwing will be the catcher coming up.
It brings up the catcher, number 23, Jeremy Thwing.
Jeremy Thwing, the catcher, and there you saw on the replay.
Well, you take a look at it, Adam, here you can see 2 hands. This time was 2 hands, glove, and the bare hand together. Nice toss over to first base.
Jeremy Thwing, the catcher, 1 for 2 on the night, or the afternoon. Jared Copen looking to Thwing. Ball's on the outside part of the plate for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike on Thwing, the catcher. For Clark Rec, 11 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors, 2 runs, 5 hits, 7 errors for Stella Walsh. 3-1 the ball on that pitch. Some good shots from our camera crew and from the guys back in the truck. Doing a fine job this afternoon, as always. Copen throws. That one is in for a strike. 3-2. Thwing really didn't like it. Slightly open stance for the right-hander. The pitch by Copen. Just missing on the outside part of the plate for a ball 4, and he walks. And that will send Julio Quinones up to the plate. Quinones, his first time up, grounded to the shortstop.
Looks like they're going with a pinch hitter right now. This looks like Omar Feliciano, number 8, a 9th grader from Lincoln Junior High.
Number 8, Omar Feliciano.
Played a little bit of second base and third base during the season.
And Santo Ortiz will be running for Jeremy Thwing over at first base with 2 outs, where you get that catcher in to try to speed up the game, as we talked about earlier in the contest. Copen's pitch is high. Quick throw down to first base, and Ortiz is back in time. For Omar, he's hitting .067 on the season with 2 RBIs. Little grounder to the shortstop. Throws over to first, and they get him. So that ends the inning for Clark Recreation as they send 4 batters to the plate that time. No runs, no hits, 1 man is left. We've played 6. It's Clark Rec 11, Stella Walsh 2.
Well, we'll take a look at it right here. Good swing. Again, this time the catcher both hand and glove. See it? Good job. Nice step and throw, first base, nice stretch. Good job all the way around.
Basic fundamentals, Tim. I know you taught that when you coached years ago.
Well, I've always believed that if you teach the basics, you never worry about the great play. Just make the ones that you're supposed to make, and you're going to be fine. Again, we'll remind our viewers that this is the city championship, and the winner will represent Cleveland, Ohio in the state championship tournament the last week of July. It's actually July 27th in Youngstown, Ohio, and they'll be playing the Akron City Championship team.
And that's some good baseball from around the state of Ohio converging in Akron. Oh, for Colondres this season, 64 pitches, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 unearned runs. Not a bad afternoon when you look at Jared Copen at 64 pitches around the 3rd inning.
Okay, one of the things you'll notice, Adam, is that we see a lot of the starters are re-entering the ball game. Again, we follow the high school re-entry rule. The purpose is to make sure that every child is given the opportunity to play at least 2 consecutive innings and bat. And that's what's happened, and now they have the option to re-enter. The new pitcher on the mound, Tito Torres, a left-hander. He's been over at first base. He'll try to wrap it up. Immediately following the game, we'll be selecting the game's most valuable player and have a chance to talk to the winning coach about their city title.
Some changes defensively for Clark Rec. They'll have Angel Aponte over at first base, Tito Torres pitching. Jeremy Thwing will still be behind the plate. Victor Colondres will now move over to shortstop to keep him in the ball game. And Yevs is still at 3rd. So those are some of the changes defensively for Clark Recreation. And up to the plate for Stella Walsh is the 2nd baseman, Wayne Stella. Stella in the afternoon got on first with a walk, and his last time up at bat and his first time got a single and got as far as 3rd. He has scored one of Stella Walsh's 2 runs in the afternoon. And Tito Torres, the left-hander, looks like he's got some stuff and bringing in that fastball to try to shut down Stella Walsh.
Coming in the pitch, top of the 7th, or 5, number 44.
Well, it'll be Wayne Stella leading off. We're in the top of the 7th. Stella Walsh needs a big inning here to defend its crown. Otherwise, we'll have a new city champion.
Tito Torres, the left-hander, brings that one inside for the fastball with a ball. Clark Recreation looking for their 2nd city championship in the past 4 years. The pitch from Torres, just missing on the inside part of the plate. Didn't like the call. He thought he got it. So quickly, Stella is at 2-0. The left-hander winds, rocks, ground ball to the first baseman, and that is Aponte. He takes it upon himself, and that's 1 out in the inning. And up to the plate now is George Abraham, the shortstop.
Brings up the leadoff here.
Hitting .561 coming into this ball game for the afternoon. He's gotten on base twice, once on an error and once on a fielder's choice. Fastball on the inside part of the plate by Torres for a strike. 1 out, 7th inning. Clark Rec looking to wrap up this city championship in the Mickey Mantle League. Swing and a miss for a strike. 0-2 the count on Abraham. Torres looks into the sign from Thwing, rocks, fires. Base hit just over the 3rd baseman's head over Nieves, and Abraham picks up the hit, rounds first for the single in this 7th inning. That is now the 6th or 7th hit for Stella Walsh. 6th hit for Walsh in this game. And up to the plate is Rick Arnold, the left fielder. Outside, and Torres is just throwing fastballs. Trying to get the job done in the 7th inning. We've got 1 out. From the stretch, that one's tipped away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rick Arnold. One of his favorite players, and a lot of them, Albert Bell. Arnold came into this ball game hitting .439, and against Clark, he's hitting .500. Big swing and a miss, and it looks to him like he's stepping out a little bit, and the head is not in. It's going away, not keeping his eye in there.
Well, Rick has a tendency to pull the ball, and I'm sure that's what he's looking for right now is an inside pitch he can pull.
That one misses just on the outside part of the plate. 2-2 count on Rick Arnold.
This is where the manager on the defense is just throw strikes, let us catch the ball, get to 3 outs. Just don't walk anybody. And I'm sure that's what Tito Torres has been told.
Abraham on first, the pitch. That one's back up the box. Great play there by Colondres over the first, and no outstretched arms of Angel Aponte. And Arnold will head over to second on the fielder's choice, but that was a great play by Victor Colondres.
Well, we'll take a look at it. See, good fastball. This time he tries to go with it. Got a ground ball. Steps on second for the first out. Throws wide to first base. Pulls off Angel Aponte. Runner moves up to second base.
Tim, if it wouldn't have hit the mound, that would have been a base hit right up the middle.
Absolutely.
Because that just caught the front edge of the pitcher's mound and giving it to Colondres to make the easy play over at second. Up to the plate now for Walsh is Joe Radzolowski. 0 for 2 in the afternoon. Man on second is Rick Arnold. On the air. Tito Torres pitch. That's a pop-up in the infield. Julio Quinones gets a beat on it. He makes the catch for the third out. And Clark Reck, as you see, are the happy campers because they are this year's Mickey Mantle City Championships as the coach gets a little Gatorade shower on the side. For Clark Reck, 11 runs, 6 hits, 5 errors. For Stella Walsh, 2 runs, 6 hits, 7 errors. For Colondres in his 6 innings pitched, 64 pitches, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 unearned runs. Let's take a break, and when we get back, we'll look at the final statistics of this ball game and talk to our winning coach and MVP of this Mickey Mantle Championship. Stella Walsh drops it to Clark Reck, 11-2, right here at Gordon Park.
Thank everyone for coming out today and cheering on our kids. Hope you enjoyed it. Drive safely.
What do you do pitching-wise and hitting-wise? You're going to pick him MVP, right? Landris? What you think, Jack? Oh, yeah.
He was 2 for 4.
So, whose influence are you under?
When Raymond was 6, I was afraid to take him to the playground because they were doing drugs. When he was 10, I couldn't let him play ball in the schoolyard because of the gangs. When he was 15, I wouldn't let him go to any dances because there could be a fight or a shooting. Now he's a man, and I realize he's never been a kid.
Give your children back their childhood. Do something now. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Together, we will take a bite out of crime.
1995 city champions will go to Clark Recreation Center here at Gordon Park for the Cleveland Mickey Mantle League, and I'm with their head coach, Edwin Santiago. Coach, got to be feeling awfully good today.
It feels good to win. I feel better for the kids. They worked hard all summer to get here, and they did it, and they pulled through, and they won the championship for them.
You know, you told us coming into this game, this team can hit, and today they did it.
They came out, they proved they can hit. I always just told them they're the best ones up there. Get up to the plate. Don't stand there and look. Go down swinging. And they did it, and they hit the ball today.
Well, the big challenge is coming up next week in Youngstown, Ohio. You'll be playing Akron City Champion on July 27th. Your feelings going into that game?
Well, we just want to get down there and show them that the kids in Cleveland can't play ball. We're going to come down there and we're going to play with the best of them. Hopefully we'll take 2 or 3 games down there. If it comes through, we'll be state champs. We'll come back state champs.
You know, we've talked about the hitting, and we saw it today throughout the whole lineup. Your concern was the bottom of the order, but from top to bottom, they all produced. You had a lot of big hits from Benjamin Thwang, Calandris, Angel Aponte, Noel Nieves. They all came through big for you today. But on the other hand, you did a super job on stopping Stella Walsh.
Yeah, they did a real good job. They played hard defense. A couple got through, but they always came back. They picked themselves back up. They stayed in the game, and they didn't let one error cause another. And they stayed in, and they kept their heads in the game, and they pulled through.
One of the key players that really made Clark Rec come out on top, especially holding Stella Walsh down, is our game's most valuable player, Victor Calandris. Victor? You know, they say you beat a team twice, 3 times, you're definitely better, and today you definitely proved it.
Yeah.
What's your feelings? Obviously, Youngstown, Ohio State Tournament. I know, Coach, you're going to be looking for him to get #1 victory. Your feelings going into the state tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah? How do you feel about it?
Good. And we are going to try to win it back up there. You know, try to do my best.
Tell us this. All year you've played with this team. And obviously today when they went out and got you 8 runs early in the first 2 innings, did you change any of your pitching style? Was there anything going through your mind at that point?
No. They was playing a good defense. That's what I need in the game.
Played great defense. Threw the ball hard, had a nice curveball. On top of your catcher did a nice job for you today.
Yeah. He was playing good. He was playing good.
Well, we want to wish you the best of luck. City champions, sounds good. 1995 will be Clark Recreation, and we want to wish you the best in the state tournament.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to our partner, Adam Mendoza. Adam, it's been a great day here at Gordon Park.
Oh, it's been a very good day. Clark Rec playing absolutely great baseball today. 11 runs, 6 hits, 5 errors. And Calandris, 2 for 4, a double and a single. Then also pitching-wise, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 64 pitches. And that was the difference in the ball game today, Tim, because you look at Copen over at Stella Walsh. He had 64 pitches in 3 innings, whereas for 6 innings of pitching, Calandris really just shut down Stella Walsh this afternoon. And pitching in some great defensive plays from behind him on his teammates, they come back with the city championship, and they head to Youngstown next week.
You know, when we talked to the coaches, we said high-scoring game. Santiago told us that Clark team could hit, and boy, they really proved it today.
Oh, they did. In the first 2 innings, they had 5 runs and 4 runs, and they really just blew the game out from the water early on in the contest, and they just played an overall well game. Now they got to try to take this momentum that they get in this tournament and in this championship game and carry it over to Youngstown in the state championships.
Well, knowing that community behind Clark Recreation, they're going to give them everything they can handle in Youngstown. We can be awful proud of them.
Oh, you got to watch out, Youngstown. Here comes a team from Cleveland. They've got fire in their eyes, and they've got that eye on that state championship in Mickey Mantle baseball.
Well, our hats will go off to Clark Recreation as the city champion. You've been watching the Cleveland Mickey Mantle champions on CLV TV 35. Again, our special thanks to the CLTV crew and all our sponsors, the Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Baseball Federation, American Funland, and Harvard Refuge for making this possible. Thank you and good night.
We hope you enjoyed today's game. Make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, TV20 Cleveland, and subscribe to get the latest videos. I'm Christian Patterson. Thanks for watching TV20 Classic Sports.